everyone, and welcome to another week of the AKB48 group news. Now this week there's plenty to talk about, so I say we go through the normal introduction and then we get right to it. This is the weekly news segment where I talk about the AKB48 group, including the rival groups, Nogizaka and Hyakizaka, and I separate them each. I go 48 graduated members and 46. You can always see what section you're on the top right of the screen, and let's go. First thing I want to start off with is actually with the new Twitter account that came out, and that's with Goto Rara. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because she's actually one of the few English-speaking members in AKB, or SKE in this case. And as someone who doesn't really follow SKE, this is one of the few members that I actually go and see what's up with her. And I mean, one of the main reasons really is because she speaks English. I know we had Hirate who spoke English, but this girl also speaks English, and it's pretty much fluent. There's a couple misses here or there, but I mean, it's like super good, accent super good, grammar is all good. I mean, this girl does speak English. And I mean, as international fans, we kind of have to support those English-speaking members because those are kind of like our passageway to that world a little bit. Although I do know other members do support the international fans as well. And someone else who started something new is actually Lemon. That's Fresh Lemon. Ichikawa Miori has actually started her new YouTube channel. Now, she only has like 2 videos up right now. It's her introduction video and a video where she ate her favorite snacks blended up together, and it was a Valentine's special, so I want to see what else comes out from this. She's someone from NMB who is getting fairly popular. I mean, if you saw the NHK Kohaku, she actually ranked fairly high up. So I recommend going over there and, leaving a comment in English, showing her the international love that we all have. And I mean, she's a great member, and I imagine with this channel, she could do some great stuff and actually show her creativity a bit. And we have another person who's doing something creative, and that's Yamamoto Sayaka. Now, she has so much going on. She has the new single that released. As a solo artist, she has the lead in NMB. She has so many things going on, and this is something new. And that's actually that she's going to release essays. This is an essay collection about her family, friends, graduation, future, her goals, everything. It's a tell-all essay collection. And the title of this will be Subete no Ryu, which from my slow Japanese knowledge, Subete means like all, and then Ryu means reason, so all my reasons? Please leave it down in the comments if I got that right. I'm not even positive. I'm not even going to check. That's how much I'm going to see if I'm right. But this comes out March 29th. Let's see if Kenneth from NSK can actually tackle this on like he did for the Sashi book. I see you, man. Let's see what you could do. But if you guys haven't checked that out on the NSK website, he translated the whole Sashi book, and it was a crazy long process, I imagine, and must have taken a lot of work. Props to him. Next up, we have some sale records for the 16 Colors photo book. And that's for its first week, it actually sold 10,707 copies. And on the Oricon chart, that actually got second because those crazy Nogizaka photo books, right? I'll actually mention how much Mayan's photo book did in terms of sales in the 46 section, so be sure to watch until that section. Next up, we have Stu 48 news, and that's with the actual application and how they finished collecting applications, and there's actually a lot of applications that came in. There were 8,061, almost as much as the cell numbers for 16 Colors, in fact. But that's a lot of auditions. I mean, I imagine being on a boat and being part of AKB is a big appeal. So we will have to wait for the results of that. I imagine there's going to be other members transitioning into that, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up is a little bit of controversial news, and that's with the company Avex. If you don't know who Avex is, they're multiple branches of one company, and something notable about the AKB world with them is that they're actually the music label for SKE48. And the thing about them is that they're actually banning overseas copies of CDs. So that means they're not going to ship out any copies. Now, this was the original news, but then a little bit more information came out from CD Japan and other places that it was actually Avex Pictures that was banning this. So that means all the titles that fall under that category won't be going, like DVDs, magazines, and other stuff like that. So for now, SKE is safe, and it kind of leaves you wondering like why they would do this. Is it because the production cost isn't enough to ship overseas? Or could it be that they just don't like sales, or overseas fans don't buy enough, so they're like, forget them? Many questions, but really they're the only ones that know, and I'm not even sure if they're going to give a response. But that'll do it for the 48 news. Let's move on to the graduated news. Now first up, I want to talk about a couple of singles that are going to be released by some graduated members. And first up is Masuda Yuka, who's going to release her first single. Now, this has been a long time coming. I mean, this girl can really sing. She was on an episode of AK Bingo, and everyone was stunned by how good she could sing. I definitely recommend looking up her name and AK Bingo and seeing how good she could sing. I mean, she was part of Diva and everything with Akimoto Sayaka, and I mean, overall, she's a pretty cool member. But that will come out April 26th with the title Itano. It will be produced by Creva and music labeled by Avex. The next person who's going to have a single is actually Itano Tomomi. Classic girl from AKB, she's going to release her 9th single. Now, even though I'm not the biggest fan of her music, I mean, you still gotta respect the girl and seeing how well she's done after AKB. And I mean, if you're a fan of her or her music, I definitely recommend picking this up and just showing your support. But something else that's happening with Itano Tomomi is that her and Kasai Tomomi are going to be together for a concert. This is going to be aired on TV. It's going to be on Asahi CS on February 19th if you can watch it. And also, it looks like Oshima Mai, another classic AKB member, and Ijiri, who is the host for Nogi Bingo, are actually going to be MCs, so that'll be interesting. It's like a whole big collab of different talent who used to be in AKB, as well as people who are still in there. But someone else who's doing something live is actually Hirate Rina, and it's kind of weird because I don't really remember her for being the greatest singer. I know she sung a couple times in Showroom, but I mean, nothing that really stood out. But if she's having a solo live, then I imagine she's going to put in the practice and she's going to get better for this. And that will be April 8th, 2017, and there's actually a fan event March 20th. So if you are in Japan and you go to Shibuya WWW, then you actually see her solo live. And for those of you who don't know who Hirate Rina is, she's actually someone who used to be in AKB, I mean, of course, but she was also on Nogi Eigo, which is like one of the really main shows she was in, other than that one Tokyo show where it introduced Tokyo to foreigners. And there's also the fact that she speaks fluent English because she's from Arizona. So if you're a fan of hers, I definitely recommend going to see her. If you are in Japan, go and see her solo live. And last but not least, we talk about Kawaei Rina. Now, Kawaei Rina is actually in a new movie, and it follows that dark theme that Death Note has, and this time it's with Ajin. Now, if you don't know what Ajin is, it's actually an anime based on a manga, and the fact is she's actually playing a support character, which actually appears like throughout the anime, really. The character she plays is Shimamura Izumi, and having read this manga, I could say this manga is pretty interesting, and I think it won some awards or something, so a live action version of this would be interesting to see, especially with her in it. Just adds that bonus, the little cherry on top. And that comes out September 30th, so be sure to check it out. And that'll do it for the graduated news. Let's move on to the 46 news, shall we? So first of all, I'm going to talk about Ikoma Rina and how she's in a new commercial for Town Work. Now, if you remember, Saito Asuka was actually in a commercial for Town Work, and they're going to be working with the same actor of Matsumoto, which if you guys don't know, he's from Downtown, super funny. Definitely go watch that if you haven't already. But in this commercial, there's actually a coffee shop, and she screams this weird coffee order, and it makes it all sound complicated and gargled. It's not the best commercial, like it's not the funnest or anything, but it's her in a commercial. So if you're a fan of hers, go and check it out. Links will be down below, as well as all the links I talk about in this video. And someone else who's going to appear in something is actually Nojo Ami. She's going to be in a new Card Fight Vanguard stage play. It will be for Card Fight Vanguard Link Joker. Now, she's actually been in a Card Fight Vanguard stage play before. I don't know if she's going to play the same character, I imagine, but I mean, seeing her and doing other stuff other than Nogizaka stuff, because she's one of the undergirls, and not all the time, but a lot of the time they don't get a lot of work. So seeing her in a stage play is actually pretty cool. That'll be April 1st through 9th if you're in Japan, and you can check it out. She's playing the character Tokura Misaki. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with Card Fight Vanguard. I've only seen it played once at Anime Expo. It was like me waiting in line, and then people next to me were playing, and I was like, oh, hey, that looks pretty cool. But that's as far as it got. And next up, I'm going to talk about Sakurai Reika's photobook news update. But that's that the cover was actually released, and it actually reminds me of the Shiraishi and other Nogizaka members' photobooks recently. You know, that kind of close to the face kind of thing with the white bar under. Not a fan of this, but I mean, at least they're consistent, right? Remember, guys, that comes out March 8th, so be sure to pick it up. Ooh, now we get to the juicy news of the 46th section. 2 last news segments. They're both juicy. First up is that Shiraishi Mai's photobook actually got more than 100,000 copies sold. Now, there's different news sources saying different things. Even on Oricon itself, it's saying 2 different numbers. One of the numbers is 103,520, and the other number is 104,400. And I mean, even on TV, they're saying different numbers. So I imagine so many people bought it that they're not really specific on the number yet. So I guess we kind of have to wait for it to solidify, because it's already been a week for the numbers not to be solidified, really. It's kind of weird. And actually, that makes me wonder how much other AKB girls' photobooks have sold for, and if she ranks like maybe in the top 10 or something for this. Because I imagine one of the Golden Era members sold a lot, but I'm not sure exactly how well 100K fits into there. I mean, it's nothing to scoff at, but I mean, 100K is a lot. I just want to know how much it is compared to the other members. So if you have any of that info, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. And last bit of news is the Keyakizaka 46. It's been a while since I talked about Keyakizaka for some reason. I feel like there hasn't been a lot of big, bulky news about them. But today we do have it, and that's that the 4th single has a release date now. But that will come out April 5th, 2017. So I mean, I'm super hyped for this. I mean, the past single was good, first single was good, second was good, not the best compared to 1 and 3, but I have high hopes for number 4. And this actually strayed a little bit from the usual single release. Usually they have A, B, and C. This time they're going to have A, B, C, and D. Something said Andy, but I meant to say and D. And the funny thing is that the members actually hinted for this on their blog, and you can actually see that there's like a 4 and a 5 in a lot of the pictures, like 5 rocks or 5 shadows, stuff like that. And at first I thought people were over analyzing the things, like looking too deep into it. But then when the news actually came out, I was like, oh, I guess they were right. I guess conspiracists can be right sometimes. But I am glad that it was true, and now we finally have the date, so I'm super looking forward to that. And that'll do it for the news this week. Be sure to check out last week's video where I talked about the news as well. And also Thursday, I did a video on Mayan's photobook last Thursday. This Thursday, it's part 2 that's going to come out. And it's a little adventure I did with other YouTubers. And I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. And again, subscribe to keep up to date with that and know when that comes out. You can like the video and comment down below. Thank you all for watching.